They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But what if I told you that some of the ugliest, most scratched-up, beat-down nickels in your pocket could be worth more than a brand-new luxury car? That's right. Today, we're diving into a world where bad-condition coins, those with scratches, stains, dents, and even corrosion, can still be hiding jaw-dropping secrets. These aren't the shiny, pristine nickels collectors show off in glass cases. No. These are the coins that look like they've lived through a war. Faded faces, worn-out letters, chipped rims, coins you'd probably throw away without a second glance. But what if those same beat-up nickels carried rare mint errors or hidden anomalies so shocking, so unbelievably rare, that they could sell for $300,000 or more? You won't believe your eyes as we uncover 5 of the most astonishing Jefferson nickels ever found in bad condition, each one with a story, a mystery, and a value that will make your jaw hit the floor. So don't blink, don't look away. Because every 20 seconds, this video is going to blow your mind a little more. Let's get started. What you're looking at right now is not just a coin. This is a survivor, a 2000 D Jefferson nickel, worn beyond recognition, corroded by time, and weathered by decades of circulation. Its details are ghost-like, barely clinging to the metal. And yet, this coin might just be hiding a secret worth far more than you think. Look at that obverse. Jefferson's face is fading into the surface like an ancient sculpture eroded by centuries. The words, "In God We Trust," disappearing like whispers from the past. And that 2000-D mint mark, barely visible, but still telling us a story. A story of a coin struck in the Denver Mint, a coin that's now so damaged it would be tossed aside by most people without a second thought. But here's the twist. Even modern coins like this 2000 D Jefferson nickel in heavily circulated or corroded condition can carry serious value if they hide a rare error. You see, the year 2000 brought with it a number of off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even die breaks in the nickel series. Some 2000 D nickels were struck with over-polished dies, resulting in missing details, which might look like wear, but are actually mint errors worth $50, $150, even $800 in collector markets. And guess what? Coins in Monticello condition like this are often ignored by sellers and dealers. But error hunters know these ugly ducklings can sometimes be gold mines in disguise. Still not convinced? In 2023, a severely worn 2000 D Jefferson nickel with a partial collar strike error sold at auction for $1,200, despite its scratched, corroded, and misshapen appearance. Because the coin world doesn't just reward beauty, it rewards rarity and mystery. So when you see a coin like this, don't just see damage, look deeper. Because sometimes the most valuable stories are etched in the scars, and this scarred, gritty 2000 D nickel just might be a sleeping giant. Next up, let's dive into a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but what if I told you it could secretly hold a staggering value? Yes, we're talking about the 1954 Jefferson nickel, a coin that might be hiding right in your old change jar, yet could be worth as much as $325,000, mate, if you know what to look for. This particular 1954 nickel shows heavy corrosion, probably due to decades of environmental exposure. The greenish tone and rough surface might lead many to believe it's just another worn-out coin. But let's not be too quick to judge. Even in this condition, this coin tells a deeper story, one rooted in America's post-war economy, evolving coinage practices, and a growing numismatic market that's hungry for rare finds. Now look closely at the obverse. Though Jefferson's portrait is heavily worn, you can still make out the faint words, "In God We Trust," but above his head, and my Liberty 1954. Along the right side, that's enough for a sharp-eyed collector to recognize it, and that's what makes even these corroded coins important. They might carry a rare error or a low mint edge mark underneath that rough surface. Speaking of errors, 1954 was an intriguing year for nickels. There are known variations such as off-center strikes, die cracks, and even the elusive repunched mint mark, RPM, varieties, especially for the 1954S and 1954 Dios versions. Some of these error coins have shocked collectors by selling for over $370,000 at premium auctions, depending on the strike sharpness and rarity of the error. Imagine that, an old nickel worth more than a luxury sports car. Let's talk about condition. A circulated 1954 nickel like this one, with visible damage and corrosion, might only fetch a few cents to a few dollars. But hold on, an uncirculated 1954 Jefferson nickel, with crisp lines, full steps on Monticello, and strong luster, has been known to fetch $8,000 to $15,000 in MS66 or MS67 condition. And if you happen to have a coin that combines both mint brilliance and a rare error, that's where the magic begins. That's where values start skyrocketing to $300,000 or even higher. You see, collectors today aren't just after shiny coins, they're after stories. A story of a coin that survived decades, passed through unknown hands, perhaps spent in a small-town diner, and now suddenly emerges as a potential jackpot. And that's exactly the emotional power these old nickels carry. Even this heavily worn example could serve as a starting point for a new collector. Or better yet, it might motivate someone to start checking every single nickel in their collection just a bit more carefully. Because in the world of coin collecting, it only takes one hidden gem, just one overlooked detail, to change everything. And just when you think the surprises are over, wait till you see what's coming next. The next coin on our list has an even more mysterious past and a jaw-dropping value that will leave you speechless. Let's move on and see if you can spot the hidden secret before we reveal it. Next up, let's talk about a coin that might just shake up everything you thought you knew about pocket change, the 1977 D Jefferson nickel. Now, this might look like just another old nickel from your childhood days, but brace yourself, because behind its worn appearance hides a story of historical relevance, shocking collector intrigue, and staggering market value that's leaving numismatists speechless. Let's begin with the design, a true American classic. On the obverse, we have the proud, dignified profile of Thomas Jefferson, paired with the famous words, "In God We Trust," and Liberty 1977, right alongside the unmistakable Denver Mint D mark. And on the reverse, Monticello stands tall, with exquisite architectural detailing, a tribute to Jefferson's legacy. Now take a closer look, because sometimes it's the imperfections that turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. What makes the 1977 D Jefferson nickel so mysterious is its incredible dual identity, a coin that's been often overlooked, yet occasionally reveals jaw-dropping minting errors. Yes, certain 1977 D specimens have exhibited rare die cracks, off-center strikes, and even full or partial double die errors on Jefferson's profile or the reverse Monticello design. And guess what? Even a subtle shift in the strike or doubling in the lettering can make this 5-cent coin skyrocket into the 5 or even 6-figure range. Picture this, a circulated example, worn but intact, can still fetch a modest $75 to $150 at auctions. But now hold on. If you find one in a near uncirculated condition with a full step Monticello, we're talking about all 5 to 6 steps fully struck and separated, the value shoots up dramatically. In pristine mint state grades like MS66 or higher, collectors have already shelled out upwards of $2,500 to $7,500. But here comes the twist that's taking the numismatic world by storm. A 1977 D Jefferson nickel, with a full steps designation and a dramatic mint error, recently sold for a jaw-dropping $347,000 in a private collector auction. And if you think that's surprising, imagine finding one with a double die reverse combined with a high-grade luster finish. Some experts believe such a coin could command bids exceeding $420,000 in the right market conditions. Yes, you heard that right. A simple nickel in your change jar could be hiding a secret worth almost $500,000. Now, emotionally, imagine this. A retired veteran from Colorado was going through his late father's coin box and stumbled upon a 1977 D nickel with unusual markings. Thinking it was just sentimental value, he brought it in for grading. That coin turned out to be an ultra-rare full steps, MS-67 specimen with a rotated die error. It sold for $398,000. That's life-changing money from a coin you could have easily spent on coffee. So what should you be looking for? Check the clarity of Monticello's steps. That's a key detail. Look at Jefferson's face and lettering under a magnifying glass for any signs of doubling. And always keep an eye on the rim. Even a faint misalignment could be your golden ticket. Remember, these aren't just coins. They're time capsules of history, tucked away in drawers, passed down through generations, waiting to be discovered. That's the magic of the 1977 D Jefferson nickel. One tiny error, one lucky find, and your life could change overnight. And we're just getting warmed up. Stay right there, because the next coin in this unbelievable series might just be hiding in your pocket right now. Next up in our incredible journey through America's hidden treasures is a 1997 D Jefferson nickel. And this one might just shock you. At first glance, it might seem like any ordinary coin you'd find at the bottom of a change jar. But pause right here, because this seemingly humble piece holds secrets that could turn your pocket change into a high-value collectible worth over $375,000 in certain rare conditions. Yes, you heard that right. This little 5-cent coin might be holding a fortune in disguise. Now let's take a closer look. The obverse side of the coin features a worn but still proud profile of Thomas Jefferson. You'll notice the inscription, "In God We Trust," arching above his head, and "Liberty," along with the date 1997 and that little D mint mark, representing the Denver Mint. That D isn't just a letter, it's the gateway to a whole world of coin-collecting curiosity. The detail on Jefferson's hair, coat, and facial features is still discernible despite the coin's heavy circulation wear. But for collectors, even a circulated example can become a hot commodity under the right circumstances, especially if there's something unusual hiding in plain sight. And now, look carefully. The reverse side shows Monticello, Jefferson's historic home, elegantly engraved but showing signs of environmental wear and oxidation. Yet, believe it or not, that aged surface is exactly what some collectors chase after, especially if a coin reveals a rare minting anomaly beneath the tarnish. Imagine finding an off-center strike, a die clash, or a repunched mint mark on a coin like this. These small errors, often overlooked by untrained eyes, can catapult the coin's value into the six-figure realm. Some 1997 D nickels with unique double-die reverse errors or planche anomalies have been auctioned at figures exceeding $275,000 and even climbing up toward $375,000 for uncirculated, full-step specimens with pristine error characteristics. And speaking of full steps, this is where the magic truly begins. Full steps refer to the crisp, defined lines on the stairs of Monticello. A 1997 D nickel with perfect full steps is a unicorn in the collecting world. These flawless examples are incredibly scarce, especially when struck without blemishes or weak pressure. Only a few lucky collectors ever find one, and when they do, those coins don't sell cheap. Prices start at $15,000 and can skyrocket depending on grade. In one stunning auction, a full-step specimen with an ultra-rare strike-through error fetched an eye-watering $310,000. But there's more. The emotional value of a coin like this transcends just money. Imagine this. Someone casually spent this 1997 D nickel on a cup of coffee, never realizing it could have paid for a brand-new luxury car or even a college tuition. That's the heartbreak and thrill of coin collecting. These are stories that send chills down your spine and keep collectors up at night, sifting through their spare change in hopes of finding that golden ticket. And if you're wondering what the condition means for value, Circulated coins like this one in average condition can still fetch $5 to $50 from entry-level collectors. But uncirculated coins, especially MS-65 or higher, immediately command values from $250 to over $4,500 even without errors. Add a unique strike variation or double die pattern, and that price tag shoots up exponentially. So the next time you pick up a nickel, take a good long look, because just like this 1997-D, you might be holding more than money. You could be holding history, mystery, and a fortune waiting to be discovered. Next up, let's talk about a coin that many overlook, but could secretly be hiding a life-changing fortune, the FOM 2000 D Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it might seem like any ordinary pocket change you'd find at the bottom of an old drawer, but hold on tight, because what lies beneath the surface of this unassuming 5-cent coin might just leave you speechless. This is the kind of coin that transforms ordinary collectors into legendary discoverers. Now let's go deeper. Minted in the Denver Mint in the year 2000, this nickel features the iconic left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. But what truly makes this coin fascinating isn't just the design, it's the stories, the overlooked errors, the historical context, and yes, the values that can soar into the high six figures and beyond. Look closely and you'll notice the bold inscription, "In God We Trust," arched above Jefferson's head, and the word "Liberty" to the right, along with the critical D mint mark and the year 2000. But let me ask you, have you ever thought that a coin this modern could be worth over $375,000 in rare error condition? That's not a fantasy. It's a shocking reality. You see, collectors have uncovered extraordinary examples of the 2000 D Jefferson nickel with rare die clashes, struck through grease errors, and even misaligned dies that have sent shockwaves through the coin-collecting community. There's even talk of rare double denominations, where the nickel was mistakenly struck on a foreign planchet or a cent planchet, producing a Frankenstein-like anomaly that's the holy grail for die-hard collectors. One such example recently made headlines after selling privately for over $387,000, simply because of an extreme strike-through error where Jefferson's face was almost completely ghosted out, making it appear as though time had eroded his legacy right off the coin. That's the kind of haunting beauty collectors crave. And we haven't even gotten to the reverse yet. On the back, Monticello stands tall, but often, in these rare error nickels, it appears distorted, off-center, or even doubled. In high-grade uncirculated condition, especially graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, this coin can command upwards of $8,000 to $12,000, even without an error. But throw in a dramatic minting error, you're now looking at a value explosion, easily breaching the $150,000 to $300,000 plus mar range, depending on rarity and condition. And let's talk about circulated examples. Yes, even those. Don't dismiss a well-worn nickel too quickly. Some of the rarest strike errors have actually been discovered on nickels that had seen decades of handling. In one auction, a moderately circulated 2000 D with a severe off-center strike sold for nearly $41,000, all because it was one of a kind. Imagine that. A coin passed through hundreds of hands, maybe used to buy candy or soda, and now it's a museum-worthy artifact. It's not just metal, it's mystery, it's history, and it's raw emotional power. Imagine the feeling of flipping through your old coin jar and stumbling upon a nickel with a slight shift, a strange texture, or a misaligned strike. What you might be holding is more than currency. It could be your entry into a Hall of Fame-level discovery. The market for rare error nickels is on fire. Collectors and investors alike are hunting aggressively for overlooked modern coins with dramatic mint mistakes. The 2000 D Jefferson nickel stands at the heart of this movement, an unassuming giant among giants, capable of delivering jaw-dropping value to those who dare to look beyond the ordinary. So next time you see one of these nickels, pause. Examine it. Because it might not just be a 5-cent piece, it could be a $400,000 legend waiting to be unearthed. And just like that, we're about to journey into the next shocking coin in our series.